Morning all, just on my way up to the allotment. It's been a while since I've been up here. I expect the weeds are rampant. Apologies for not making a video for a while. I've had work commitments and also I've been a bit lazy, if I'm honest. Anyhow, let's get up there and see the damage. Okay, let me give you a really quick whistle stop tour of the plot. This is how it looks like from the top. Potatoes are doing well, although they don't seem to have shifted much since the last video. I've got the odd flower coming on. 6 rows of kestrel and a couple of rows of charlotte are in here. Finally, my French climbing beans are starting to climb. They've taken an age to do anything. So yeah, they are slowly making their way up the sticks. Yeah, that's them. Not that you'd be able to make those out, but those are leeks. Under there, in clumps, are spinach, and then just a row of potatoes that I planted in this bed just because I couldn't fit them into that bed there. Making my way down to what I consider to be the only triumph of this growing season, my Calabrese, or broccoli as I've been calling it. But on the packet it said broccoli, but all you guys are calling it Calabrese. But it's doing really well. There's one head. I go over to the next plant, there's the other, and I've got one under there and one under there. So I'm just going to let these fatten up and then start picking them off as and when. If you've got any tips for me on when to kind of harvest these, I guess they might be ready now. Please let me know, because I've never grown these before and I'm really pleased that they've come up and look so good. Onto this cloche here, I've got my green cos lettuce, which are really good. They need to be picked ASAP. Got a couple of Brussels sprout plants just mixed in. I'm going to take this net off soon and start harvesting these. Under that one there, which I haven't bothered lifting, I've got just the remains of about 4 iceberg lettuces, and under there I think I've got a giant broccoli plant. It's going mental. Here's a failure, first failure, one of many failures this year. My cabbages are going to seed. Not all of them, but certainly 1, 2, 3, 4 have gone to seed in there. This one's gone to seed as well. I'll try and zoom in. No, you won't be able to make it out. Those are cauliflower and they look to be doing okay. There's 2 lettuces in there, again green cos, and yeah, they're making a start. They're having a go. My thoroughly unweeded fruit bed, I guess you'd call it. I've got strawberries in there, which I didn't expect to do much this year. I'm just going to leave them. Got a couple of really ropey looking strawberries on there, but I'm literally going to leave this for this year. Come back to it next year and do a better job. Rhubarb, looking sorry for itself. Autumn Bliss raspberry plants. Got some raspberries here that I inherited when I took over this plot. I've got some currants here. I'm guessing they're red currants. They're starting to turn colour, or maybe black currants, I don't know. They haven't got dark enough to be black currants yet. They're red ones, I'm guessing. Gooseberries are looking good as well. They're in there somewhere. There's one. Garlic was a failure this year, did really well last year, pretty rubbish this year. I've put a, a giant sunflower plant there, so hopefully, well, he looks to be going strong, so that's okay. Onions are looking great. The weeding has just got on top of me. I mean, I'm nuts deep in weeds at the moment, as you can see, but I haven't been up for a couple of weeks. Shallots are still splitting, looking good. Terrible crop of beetroot this year. They were fantastic last year on the other plot. There's also a little mouse hole there, so I'm sure that what he's done is burrowed under that little patch of beetroot there and probably eaten the tuber. These things were great, but I'd never grow them again because they're just so big. They're massive. They're the long icicle white radishes. There you go. Under here I've got some chard, which is growing in clumps. I'm quite happy that I've got chard now. Got another row of beetroot, a rogue tomato plant, some pretty poor broad beans, but some slightly better broad beans there. So it looks like I will get a few broad beans off the allotment this year, but I am growing some at home and they're doing really well. Finally onto the small flower area. Dahlia still hasn't come out, although it looks like it's got a bud there. I don't know what those are. My dad planted them. I'm sure he's told me a couple of times, but I keep forgetting. Lupins. Death Row, do you remember me pointing out Death Row? Death Row has kind of picked up a little bit. I put another giant sunflower plant here. Seems to be doing okay. This one, however, has been chomped on by the mice. I know that for certain because I've just covered up one of the holes that were here and here. Anyhow, that's a really quick overview of the plot this week. Weeds are taking over, but I haven't been up for a couple of weeks to sort them out. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.